This is what I'm talking about, right? It's just so hard when you don't have anybody coming out main and you come through vents. There's so many places this defender can be. There's so many you can get timing peaked while you're clearing these close angles from back sight, right? It's just really like supporting. What up, guys? It's Wild. Today we're looking at a match from NSG Winter Champs between the guard and XSET. I did this VOD review on stream, so we break down a few rounds from the guard's dominant CT side this map. Link to the full VOD review will be in the description, and if you're interested in coaching, that info will also be in the description. Anyway, let's get right into it. Okay, but we have... Okay, so any special bonus plans from the guard? It doesn't look like it. Looks like they're pretty split right now. Probably just gonna be net peeking aggressively with a TP, ready to TP him back here. So this is what I mean with the Viper wall, right? Like, this is how teams adjust to it. Like, he's not respecting it. It's not like he's just standing behind it. He's like, I'm just gonna walk through and fight you. If you're a 1v, if you're a solo player, I'm gonna take this 1v1.
For Cryo, he can get aggro, dash away. Second to the blast packs, he's really good with the
Ooh, very aggro. Barely gets out.
That's good information for the guard.
Playing pretty passive around the other side of the map, so XSET just defaulting here. It's fine. It's a good way to play against the bonus. You don't want a lot of time on the bonus round, right? You're gonna run into a lot of aggressive plays early in the round because weapon disadvantage incentivizes the defenders to take earlier fights and be more aggressive off their utility. So dog down A main. They stun this Viper. He stuns in front of him. So this is the value of the Viper lurk, though, right? This is the value of the Viper lurk because he is keeping two players here to deal with him being one, which is a pretty good trade, right? There's a lot. That's a lot less resource that can be on the other side of the map contesting your teammates. Follows the boombot into ropes. Like this, get ropes control. Got to be careful going down though, because they have bad guns, so it's really dangerous dropping into vents here.
A whole lot for it, Trent. Ooh, close.
They think better of it.
Contact inside vents.
Interesting. So the bomb's going back towards A, and they have their double duelist peeking B main. So I would assume from this point that XSET is thinking, okay, let's show our duelists B heaven. They look for a kill and or take a fight, try to trade out. Then while that's happening, our vents player and A players should be able to hear rotates coming through spawn. If they hear a rotate off, then they will go into the split. Probably one of these duelists dies, hopefully not both, and then the other one comes back late vents or something like that. Right? But now there's going to be trouble because it is really hard to win this fight Rifle versus Spectre on this angle. Unless he just walks up fully expecting it, first bullet headshots him, right? So I expect the round to fall apart for XSET here.
We'll head the opposite way. Not
Yep.
all of XSET though. Def pushes up, peeks his head over the top, and Trent will take it off. So an early.
So now they're extremely reliant. So now the situation has changed, right? Before they would only need to go like, they wouldn't even need to necessarily get kills be heaven, but like a 1-for-1 would be fine. And it would open up for their A take. Now, with this situation, these players A have to not show at all for a little while. They have to let these two fight it out, and these guys have to get they have to get like 2 kills. They have to get 2 kills to give these A players a chance. Okay. BCJ is just peeking. He gets the kill. That's one way to do it, but still, this is still rough because now, right, isolated fight. Right, run and gun, like the smoke comes in, like Cryo gets 2. He hits a nice timing. Yeah, what happens? Okay, so he sneaks past on this timing, kills a rotator. He knows about this guy. He goes back and peeks. Nice kills. But you're still in a really bad spot. 15 seconds. Pretty much unwinnable. Gotta grab the bomb. And round's over. And they don't peek him. They don't give it to him. So yeah, so the way we see this round break down, see a couple misplays from XSET. I think a couple so like I think they're obviously aware they could have bad guns in vents, right? And like you could get owned by specters and shotguns. But I think they're assuming that they're not going to have anybody playing there because they're just going to have the chamber bot holding the top of the rope. Because they did already see it once. I think that's the assumption they made. I'm not sure if I like making that assumption on this kind of round. On a gun round, I'm fine with you making that assumption every time. On their bonus and on eco rounds, I'm not sure if you should always make that assumption. I'm not sure if it's worth it. But yeah, that's really where the round falls apart. I think it was alright up until then, but you have your solo Astra trying to walk into vents before your B players have made contact. Not sure. And then I think the other misplay is I think even though BCJ gets the kill, I think this is probably a misplay them showing here. And then once he does get the kill, I don't think they can commit. I don't think they can just commit with 2 players because they have no reason to think that they have drawn a rotate yet. And there's going to be a lot of situations where 2 players is not enough to guarantee that you trade out. So I think that's where we go wrong on this versus this bonus. So this is already disastrous, right? From start from XSET, losing the bonus, never fun. Makes it really difficult to get back into the game. So XSET, okay, so like this gives you hope. It gives you hope. But Guard has good ults here, or a good ult, right? The Viper's Pit is gonna be very strong on this gun round. Let's see where they decide to use it.
This time and all, invested for net. He'll fight out towards mid. Cryo in position.
It's hard to get kills on this angle with the op, I think. When you do this, you're relying on players trying to like walk up mid dry, which XSET has been doing a lot, to be fair. So doesn't make it less tough. You never know when they might decide to mix things up.
So close.
Yeah, and now it's like too late. Now that they start burning util, he's like, okay, I can't sit here any longer. What? Okay.
Finds nothing. Net to teleport to safety, and Saya player wasn't close enough to the explosion.
Now we're taking Vents control. Okay, we have 4 players up mid. We have 1 guy outside B main. So if you're XSET here, you have to be... You can't... There's like no way you can hit a site here successfully, whether or not you choose to go through B heaven or Vents. Pretty hard to hit a site successfully, so you should be looking at this situation as just like, let's force fights. Let's find kills. Let's thin out the numbers, and then we'll hit a site later in the round, like 30 seconds, 25 seconds left. But definitely need to be pressuring right now, because if you're not getting any kills at this time, these guys are not going to have to switch their setups, and it's still going to be really hard when you have to take a site.
Net will send out a shot. Now they're on mid. All 5 are in this direction. Finally, that spike looks to head the opposite way, but is this going to be sold? BCJ on the jump peak. Net to go back to it, and he
BCJ playing like a duelist.
Playing out towards mid. All 5 are in this direction. Finally, that spike,
which is good. I think when you do run the Sage, that's like one of the big benefits. He knows you're stuck in the slow peaks, so that is a necessary kill. I think this is a necessary fight for him to take because of all this stuff I was talking about earlier, where you just try to go into a hit without any kills here. It's going to be really hard. Viper wall goes up. This makes his life really hard. They have no information on whether or not a player is up vents. He has this Viper util main to play off of, so it's good. Suck maybe a little early. Okay, now he hears these heaven players. This is what I'm talking about, right? It's just so hard when you don't have anybody coming out main and you come through vents and essentially A heaven, vents, A heaven. It's the same thing if you go up ramp together, right? It's like there's so many places this defender can be. There's so many you can get timing peaked while you're clearing these close angles from back sight, right? It's just really hard. All you can really do is run up with your boys and try to trade out. 1, 2, easy 2. Get that trade, but they still have a player on site. Low time. Trent just needs to wait for a plant here and get one. I think this is fine.
of the Essence Trent.
Because I would not be expecting this guy to really stick plant right here when they know your elbow. And if he does, it's just like a big risk they're taking. So I think it's fine for him to just show some pressure and then watch his wrap. He keeps a very threatening position by staying alive here. So staying alive is very good. Even if he could have won the round by swinging the planter, you don't know that you're gonna get that kill for sure. So I like his decision overall. His teammates are close enough to where they're gonna be able to profit off of these guys trying to clear him out haphazardly. Because you can't just let him live there. And right, like, Cryo has to go fight that. Like, they have to fight something at this point. Right, if you're XSET. So, well played. Good round from the guard.
I am on my hands and knees begging someone to stop Trent. Because this guy is just ridiculous in every situation. In that round, it's the discipline, right?
So, like, if you're XSET here, like, what do you do? What's your adjustment? I'm thinking... Because what you're doing is not working, clearly. I think you need to leverage the double duelist a lot more. I think you need to have... I think you need to start trying for some harder sight hits through the mains, right? Because these splits... Because they're not really splits. It's like they're kind of splits, but it's like always 4-1 or 3-1, right? It's never like 3-2 or 2-2, right? So it's just, it gets really hard for them to trade out with these players who are like entrenched on the bomb sites. Entrenched on these difficult angles.